Hi all, this is Dr. Sage Breslin and this is Wisdom Wednesdays in a little bit more relaxed atmosphere today. So one of the things I have become exceedingly aware of is that the more I post about toxic narcissism and covert narcissism, the more my own feed is filled with wonderful folks who are coaching and supporting and providing resources for those like me who are helping others get out of unhealthy relationships and recover from toxic narcissism. So, what it did is it really made me think about how do you choose? How do you choose a provider? How do you choose a supporter? How do you choose a resource? I look at all these incredible women. Mostly, I have actually seen one man who's posting, which I thought was great. Because toxic narcissism is an equal opportunity employer, unfortunately. So I myself was thinking, how do people out there know who to trust, who to select, to really know that this is the right person for them to help recover. And so I thought, gosh, it's been a while since I shared a little bit about myself and what I do and how I came to this, how I came to support women, and mostly women, but also men who are recovering from these kinds of very toxic relationships. So I guess, one of the things I can say is I am a frequent flyer when it comes to toxic narcissism. Unfortunately, I have been in many different toxic relationships and have really had to spend a lot of time really delving into my own recovery and delving into the origins of what made me susceptible or vulnerable to toxic narcissism. So I'm happy. God, I could speak all day about that, and I have posted on my YouTube about that. But the second thing is I've been a psychologist for 33 years. I spent 25 years specifically as a trauma psychologist. And so I'm very well versed and experienced in treating people who have been through, like what I went through, any kind of traumatic circumstances, but specifically traumatic circumstances that happen in relationships, interpersonal and intimate relationships. But, I know a lot of psychologists and, you get the same thing, right? Oh, which one do I choose? And most of the time I say, choose what really is a good fit for you. Oftentimes I can, make a choice because I really relate to that person. I really get their story. More importantly, I really get their recovery. I really get the way that they've healed or recovered or re-empowered following these kinds of toxic relationships. But let's take it a step further, because for me, it actually does go further, right? I have the Rose system, which is designed to actually re-empower and reignite women, to help them get their mojo back, to help them really find themselves again after losing themselves in intimate relationships or in interpersonal relationships like work relationships. So, for me, where it goes is I am a deeply spiritual person. I'm not particularly religious, but I'm a deeply spiritual person. And I do believe that it is my relationship and connection to God that does make a difference. And the reason it makes a difference is that it's an eternal power source. We burn out, right? It does not. No matter which version of God you think of or believe in or adhere to, it is an eternal power source. It is something that can refuel us no matter what. So that has been very important to me, and it has for my entire life. But why does it make a difference when it comes to really recovering from these kinds of relationships? Well, for me, I am blessed with some special gifts. I often see, hear, and know things that other people don't pick up on. And as a result, that has allowed me to delve deeper into my own recovery, to know where did all this nonsense start from? Where did my magnet come from? And for those of you who know my story, I've had a magnet not just in my adult life and not just in my life as a child, but actually beyond this lifetime. And it was the discovery of those very early anchors and vulnerabilities to these kind of folks that really allowed me to recover and allowed me to heal myself back lifetime after lifetime. And it is that is maybe really unique and different about the way I approach this, because I believe that those of us who are old souls, and you know who I'm talking about is you, right? People have called you that before. You think of yourself that way. You know that you are that way. For those of us old souls, this stuff usually kind of goes way far back, and we're far more vulnerable to it than other people. So for me, it's really learning how to put that old soul back into the driver's seat so that you are no longer vulnerable to these kinds of manipulations that come directly from these toxic narcissists. So if you want to learn a little bit about what I have to offer, you're welcome to go to my website at sagebreslin.com, or maybe just take the Old Soul Woman quiz, and that is at www.oldsoulwomen.com. And it's at least a fun thing to learn about yourself. But slip into my DMs if you have any questions. We are all great at what we do and what we have to offer, and we're all very unique and different. And finding that really good match is the best way to find your best supporter.